Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. Now let's get right into it because we can see that Bitcoin again having a pretty much lackluster day, not too much upside. We did bounce off that $26,500 support and we are now back at the $27,250 resistance, and we are getting, I guess we closed just slightly above it at the moment, and now we have opened a new daily candle and we are basically just dropping a little bit again. Not real action on Bitcoin here. Very low volume if you were to ask me. You guys can see ever since we kind of topped out around that $30,000 area, Bitcoin's volume has been extremely low, and it's been low for like two months now, since March, and now we're in June. I guess you could say 3 months, or it was near the end of March, so I guess you could say maybe 2.5 months. All right, don't find me hard on this one. Don't find me on this one. Anyways, moving on, let's take a look at what Bitcoin's doing on the daily time frame. Daily time frame, we have, oh, my phone's ringing there. Daily time frame, we have some red money flow at the moment. Dual band strength index looking a little bit more bullish ever since yesterday's big bearish DBSI numbers. And again, I reiterated this many times, but I'll do it again. And I'll just show you guys, again, it's very possible that we could get another drop to 25,200, which was previous support here. Right there, right? It was resistance, and now we're expecting this to flip this as support if we were to come down. And then it's our 50% fib retracement as well. Now moving on, let's take a look at the weekly time frame, see what's going on there. So the weekly candle looks a little bit better than the one from last week, but again, we haven't really made any movement in the price, and we still have that red money flow, which I really don't like at the moment. And I don't like how the red money flow is increasing under larger time frames. Now looking at the monthly candle, let me just get on this this chart right here, on the Bitstamp chart, so we can get a better outlook, because the Bitstamp chart has the most data, and Bitstamp chart right now is looking pretty much even. It looks like there's gonna be, it's a 50-50 on the monthly chart in which direction it could break. So that's when you want to look at your smaller time frames, like the weekly, the 2-day, the 2-day and the daily time frame. So the 2-day is looking quite bearish at the moment. You have a 15 and a -5. You have some red money flow starting to come in, so it's looking like we could possibly go down here. But for the time being, the 4-hour is still in the green. You got a tiny bit of green money flow. Looks like the momentum wave has bottomed for the time being, so we'll see if we get some upside from here. And again, no real signals here on wave edge. We have some green crosses. We got that pump up to 28,400, and then we got rejected from that down sloping trend line here. So we'll have to see if this level holds, and if we are able to make another leg up, then that's going to bring us to around 34,000. And again, you guys can take a look at the NASDAQ and the Qs, and the Qs have been running up here. Again, I still think that we are running into some major resistance here. Can we go up more and take out this gap fill? And I think we are going to start to reach this gap fill area right around the $361 area. I think you're probably going to start to tag this gap fill. I mean, you're so close. Once it gets to this level, it starts to act like a magnet, so you might as well hit this gap fill area. And I think, why is my there we go. I think it's like, yeah, only 1.5% move up more, and then you're going to fill that gap. So might as well, pump it up, fill the gap, and then let it go down afterwards. But ultimately, I still think you're running into some very big resistance here. You are getting into some heavy selling pressure. I'm seeing big institutions starting to unload their bags. So again, this is a very big warning sign for the retail crowd. Buying Nvidia at these levels, buying Nvidia at $393. Again, could it go higher? Sure, it could, right? You got strong momentum. The euphoria is here. AI is the future. AI will get us out of this recession. It's all, just a bunch of nonsense in my opinion. And I think you guys really need to pay attention to the bigger warning signs. Like unemployment is now starting to go up. Today we saw a big uptick in unemployment. It went from, I'll just take a look at it with you guys here. I'll just bring it down. Unemployment went up from 3.4 to 3.7%. And I think this is the beginning of the new trend unemployment. I think you're now going to see very big upticks in unemployment, and the Fed is going to be very reluctant in cutting rates. Right now, now that the recession has been advertised, right, that it's coming near the end of the year, the entire market is rallying on the one single idea that the Fed is going to cut rates at the first sign of trouble. But the only problem is that we are in trouble already right now, and we've been in trouble for a while because we've had the inflation trouble. We have the inflation problem that is relentless in going down. We've seen the PCE start to uptick. You can see that food inflation is extremely sticky and hard to get rid of, and the Fed is going to be very reluctant in cutting that. And the second that the market sees that the Fed is not cutting rates at the first sign of trouble, or is starting to wait and says that they are going to keep rates high regardless of how bad the recession is, that is when the market is going to freak out. They're going to panic, and that's when you're going to get your reversal, right? All these stocks that are in the stratosphere at the moment on the entire theory of rates being lower, then you are most likely going to see a very big drawdown in the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Russell 2000, and the Dow Jones. And again, this theory could be wrong. Maybe, inflation goes back down to 2% by the end of the year, and then the S&P will go up to 6,000, right? And then we're just going to get a melt up in stocks, and it won't stop until then. And then maybe by then, we'll also have some money made from our call options on this SPY. I mean, if you're calling for a SPY 600 by the end of the year, those call options are extremely cheap, and you might as well hedge your short positions by picking that up. Anyways, moving on here, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ is running into some major resistance here. I have probably one final level right around 15,300. That is going to be probably the last level of resistance if we were even to get up here. I mean, I really doubt we're going to get up here, but you never know. The RSI is extremely overbought at the moment, and I think this move is going very, very, very parabolic, and it's looking exactly like a blow-off top. A lot of people think that it's a new bull market, but we'll let them think what they think. And a lot of people, I mean, that's how this market works. When we were going down, the bears were cheering and they were making fun of the bulls. And now that we're going up, the bulls are making fun of the bears, right? For still thinking that we're gonna go down, because that's how the market works. That people who get into these trades at the top, right? They get very arrogant and to think that this move is never going to end, right? Now that the bulls have been buying the bottoms, right? And they think that this move is never going to end now, right? So, I mean, now I'm saying that this move is probably going to start to come into an end right around this area. And we're probably going to start to make our way down to new lows. But that's my opinion. A lot of people think that's what's going to happen, but we'll have to see in the coming months and by the end of the year where the market is. Let's move on here, taking a look at natural gas. Oh, that's not natural gas. This is natural gas. So natural gas, again, running into some support here. It's bouncing off this upsloping trend line that I have drawn out. Let me just pull it up here. I'll draw it out for you guys. There we go. So again, it's bouncing off this upsloping trend line here. But again, if it fails to hold this level, then you're most likely going to retest your lows. But if it manages to hold this level here and you start to get another bounce up and you get a melt up in nat gas, and then in my opinion, I think you are going to see a massive short squeeze in nat gas. And let me pull up a chart here for you guys. Again, I post this data inside the Discord for the gold members, but I'll just include it here for you guys. So you can see that the net short volume on UNG has already been covered in this last drop that we've gotten, right? So this was in what? This was in, let me just pull up here. This was in April. This is April and May. So in April, near the end of April, you saw this big, well, let me just close this chart here. I'll just close this so you can see it. There we go. So when you saw this big drop in April, right, the shorts were finally covering, and then they covered, and then we just started chopping sideways. No significant drops after that. And now what you're seeing is in KOLD, right? This is the inverse ETF it's a 2 times inverse ETF of natural gas. You can see that the short positions are starting to build up significantly. We are already at 550.5 million short positions being built on the KOLD. And if we look at the KOLD, it just made a new high. right? And you can take a look at the weekly time frame. You're creating another, lower high on the RSI in terms of bearish divergence. You made a new high on the weekly. I mean, eventually this is going to break, and when it does break towards the downside, I think this is going to be one for the books. You're going to see KOLD start to drop down significantly, and you're going to see nat gas and oil start to rip up towards the upside. And again, this is on the month. It's a monthly time frame pattern. It's going to take a long time to play out, but again, this is how these bottoms are made. You can look at previous patterns like so. When you start to chop around towards the downside, right? You only stayed here for a certain amount of time before starting to take off back towards the upside. So you just got to be patient. You got to wait for this trade to play out. I know a lot of members are inside the Discord are in this trade, and there's a lot of people who believe that nat gas is going to zero because it's going to be useless and no one's going to ever use it. I mean, I don't know how deluded they are thinking this, because nat gas is going to be around probably until the day I die, because it's a natural resource. I mean, they say the same thing about oil. Oil is going to be irrelevant. Everyone's going to be driving electric cars. And then to this day, oil is still here, and it's more needed than ever. And, we're not all driving electric cars. But although Teslas, I've been seeing a lot of Teslas on the street. Anyways, moving on here, let's take a look at gold. Gold is starting to get a bit of a dip today as the dollar rallies back up towards the upside. And actually, we saw bond yields upticking significantly today on the 2-year. And I actually want to show you guys something here. Let me just pull this up. So you guys can see the CME Fed Watch tool. The probabilities of a rate hike have now decreased significantly. It's like a 75% chance that we get a pause, right? A no change. And then it's a 25% chance that we get a hike, right? So we'll have to see if these numbers change, because today we got, the non-farm payrolls, and a lot of people were really excited about that. And the whole market took off. You got to see that the Russell 2000 was actually up over 3.5% in one single day. It was crazy, absolutely ludicrous. Let's take a look at gold. So again, gold, if it starts to come back down some more, I got a level right around, oops, let me just pull this back. I got a level right around 1915 that I really like. So I'll maybe start a long position there if we were to get down here. But if we go even lower, like 1871 or 1800, I'm just going to be adding and adding and adding to my long positions, and I'll maybe even buy some bullion. I'll let you guys know in the Discord when I do that. And taking a look at silver, so silver again struggling a little bit more because it is not only a precious metal, but it's an industrial metal as well. So if silver starts to pull back down, I got a level at $22.20 that I really like for a long position. So I'll just wait for that area to get hit first, because we just came back up to this this downsloping trend line, or essentially the top of this channel, and we just retested as resistance once more. All right, so I think that covers it for now. I don't really have much more updates for you guys, other than the fact that, if Bitcoin goes up, then 32 to 35K is going to be my target, and I'll let you guys know when I enter my trades. And talking about trades, big congratulations to the gold members inside the Discord. You guys have been getting some amazing trades here from Hayden, posting some big wins on GMT, ADA, and then Matic up another 60%. Again, these trades are posted in real time, so feel free to join the Discord. Inside, the link is in my description, and you guys get these trades in real time from Hayden. All right, love you all. Take care. Peace.